So you've hired a marketing company or you're doing some ads yourself, but they're not performing. What should you do first, and why is that important to the success of your campaign? Well, today we're going to talk about that on 5-Minute Marketing Friday. Hey, welcome back. I'm Jeff Harrison with Swing Point Media and 5-Minute Marketing Friday. You know, it's not uncommon whenever someone starts an ad campaign, whether they've hired an agency or they're doing it themselves, that the chances of it being successful right out of the gate are pretty slim and none. In fact, it's almost like if you're trying to put a puzzle together and you're trying to test different pieces, you're going to have to test a lot of different pieces to make it work. But the question is, well, what pieces should I change? What pieces should I put in there? Well, let's break it down because it's important to understand when there should be wholesale changes, which I wouldn't recommend, and when you change pieces. And this is where it's really important. And this is kind of that finesse of knowing where to hit the pipe to make sure, not just because you have a hammer, but knowing where to hit the pipe. So let's say, for instance, you have something out there and it's just not getting any attention. In other words, you have an ad running, but it still is not getting anyone to take action on it. Well, at this point, what I might do, and let's just imagine, let's just say for this example, you're using an image or a video. Well, the first thing I would do is I would probably look at your ad headline. What is your headline? Because typically that's the first thing anyone is going to see, and they're going to make a decision whether or not this is for them or they just keep scrolling. So I would look at changing the headline, and I might try changing just the headline only and let it run another 3, 4, 5 days and see if things change. If it does change and all of a sudden people then are engaging with your ad, you have found where the problem was. You just almost had a stop sign up when you really wanted a green light. So changing that subject line. Now, if you have people coming to your ad, they're engaging, but they're not taking any action. In other words, let's say you have a button down below where it says learn more, or call now, or click here, but they're not getting to that point. Well, then I might dig in and say, well, what's with your ad copy? What is with the ad copy? Because you've got them to stop scrolling. They're taking the time to probably look at your ad. And then I would say, well, the chances are whatever my ad copy is, maybe is not helping. So there are many things we can do, and I can be specific with that in another video about how to write powerful and informative ad copy that gets people to click through to your ads. But if it's not, then take a look at it. What kind of verbiage are you using? You know, here's something that I know it's hard to believe, but the truth is most people will do more to prevent pain than they will to gain pleasure. So when you're writing your ad, are you coming from preventing pain or just gaining pleasure? You see, what happens if all you do is you promise, it starts to get maybe a little bit too good to be true. That kind of goes through the mind of our audience. But if you're taking away pain and you're making their life better because now all of a sudden they can sleep through the dog barking next door because you've given them an idea, the chances are they're probably going to stay with you longer. So the first thing you do is change your ad headline. Then you would look at your copy. But let's say, for instance, okay, now they're clicking through. They've watched your video, the copy is good, and they've clicked through, but you know, they're not converting. They're not throwing credit cards at your faces. They're not filling out the information. Well, the problem does not lie in your offer or your headline or your copy. It's probably now isolated to your sales page. One thing I would look at is say, hey, does my ad copy and my sales copy, is it congruent? Or does it look like two different businesses? If it is, there's that feeling of uncomfortableness. Like as an example, if you use very personalized communication over here in your ad copy, but over here it became very formal and straight-laced, chances are you may have lost them because it's incongruent. The other thing is, are your colors the same? Make it look the same. The other piece is, now we start examining your page to find out, is it doing its job? And if it's not, if you're not getting the sales, then the chances are it's in your sales copy page. So, in a nutshell, when you're trying to optimize or get better with your ads, if they're not performing, before you say, hey, let's just throw this ad out and put a whole new ad in there, remember, it's like a puzzle piece. You need to try different pieces and all of a sudden it fits, because here's the beauty about this. Once you get that fit, you can use that same ad for an indefinite period of time. For some of you, you may remember the Juicy Fruit ads or Tony the Tiger. Those were ads, once they figured it out, once they got that formula, they used it for many, many years, in some cases, decades. So good luck with that. If you have any questions about that, or you want to have some help with that, that's what we do here at SwingPoint Media. Just give me a click. I've got information here on screen where you can get in touch with me, and we'd be more than happy to help you. Until next time, have a great weekend.